Well, happy Friday. Hello. Happy, beautiful Friday. Hey, y'all. What's going on? Happy Friday. How we doing, world? How we doing, America? Shout out where you're watching from, your state, your country, your nation. I want to know where you're watching from. Salahi, hey. Atu's in there. Hey, Toronto, bless Canada. I see Daisy. What's going on? Hey. Listen, I just wanted to come on really quickly to connect. South Africa. Man, how we love South Africa. I have got to get, as soon as this thing lifts, there's so many places that I want to spend some time in. Ashley's in the house, and South Africa is definitely one of them. What's up, Georgia, Chicago, Ohio? I love it. The nation and the nations are present. The UK, London, I love that place. You may not have known, but we had a church. We started a church plant in London some time ago, and ended up partnering with a ministry out there, and stepping back away from it so I can focus on what was happening in LA. But I love it. Florida's in the house, New Orleans. Hey, so I just wanted to come on and just really to check in. I don't plan on being on here too long, but I just wanted to see how everybody's doing. I know in America things, kind of just came to a head. I prophesied about this being a year, or an age rather, of revealing. And I think that that is exactly what's been happening, and I can't say that I'm really shocked by what happened in our nation at the Capitol at all. In fact, it was one of the things that I was greatly concerned about in our country because of just a lot of the rhetoric, and I won't trace that rhetoric back to one source solely, because there are many sources of the rhetoric that I think that help to divide us and really bring that division up to levels to where it becomes like, violent. Quite frankly, some of the ways that social media works plays a part in it, whereas or wherein whatever you like is what you see, which is a problem, and that'll preach. Let's back that up for a second. On social media, you see more of what you like, and so if I am a angry nationalist, and I like the comment or the post of an angry nationalist, then I'm going to see my timeline is going to be flooded with posts of angry nationalists, and what that does is it creates the false illusion that everything that is in the world, every opinion is similar to yours. And so there was a great documentary called, I believe it was called The Social Dilemma, that explored that to some degree. So there are a lot of sources for this rhetoric, but I say all that to say I wasn't surprised when I heard that our outgoing commander-in-chief was encouraging people to come to DC. I was greatly concerned, because unfortunately a significant amount of the people that he attracts are people who have radicalized thoughts and ideas, and so I wasn't shocked that there would be trouble in DC. What I was shocked about, and maybe I shouldn't have been, was the embarrassing preparation by law enforcement. The fact that one of our sacred facilities could be breached in the way that it was breached, and to a certain degree defiled, was disgusting to me. But then again, it, I think, underscores what what a lot of people, not just people of color, but a lot of people in America have been awakened to and have been crying out for, is that there is a great disparity between how laws and law and order affects people of color and those who are not. So I think, to a certain degree, as challenging as the 6 was, I think that for those who are really open to healing and open to truly making our nation, our world a better place, I believe it was an eye-opener to the fact that, wow, man, things do go differently for people of color versus people who are not of color, even as it relates to how laws are enforced or law enforcement is approached. So I'm believing that in some way, people who seriously want to see good and who seriously want to see our country be the best that it can be will abandon divisive political postures and say, you know what? I didn't see it at first, but I saw firsthand that that the way that law enforcement responds to blacks or black causes or black issues or issues of color are different. And it doesn't make you don't have to switch your political side to say that. You got to say, hey, man, all right, maybe there is some truth to what they're crying about. I'm big on empathy. I believe that that everybody's a little right and everybody's a little wrong. And I think that if we are just a tad bit more empathetic, being present and listening to what people's concerns are, some people are straight out irrational, and I do have a philosophy, never argue with a fool. However, if you're really truly seeking good for our country, as I am, then we can have a talk. I'll respect you, you respect me. We may agree to disagree. But one thing that we cannot disagree about was the fact that if those protesters storming the gates were African American, Latino, or whatever, man, it would have been a massacre. And someone could say, you don't know that. Well, I would bet my life savings that would be the case. Anyway, I'm just checking in. So what should we do? Where should we be? Where should we live? I want to get through these next couple of weeks. I don't think the world is going to change overnight, but I do think that we've been through a challenging season, and I personally am not convinced that our leadership, the leadership in this country, has been its finest. I'm praying that this thing that happened on Capitol Hill would bring a spirit of revival to every politician, to every congressman, to every senator, that we would recognize that that politics and politicking are really futile, and that we ought to really come back down to what the heart of being a civil servant is and one who serves the nation is, and that is the betterment of the country. It's not about kickbacks. It's not about, lobbying and feeding those who, feed your agenda. It's not that. It's about being human. It's about recognizing that we've been entrusted with a responsibility to make certain that we can live a peaceful, fair, and prosperous existence in our nation, and that we will be willing to lay down politicking and pandering for a greater good. Lives were lost because of rhetoric and political pandering this week, and that, in my estimation, is worse than treason. So I'm just praying. My prayer is that not just politicians, but we as people will take a sense of stewardship over our country, stewardship over our nation, and say, I got a part to play. I'm not going to sow division or hate. I'm going to listen, and with the influence that I have, whether it's over two people, whether it's over my home or over my whole community, I'm going to be a part of rebuilding good. As I've been preaching about, it's a time of rebuilding, and I think that we saw a clear sign that our country, our political system, needs a new way forward. So that's my prayer. I'm praying for incoming President Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They're going to have a tough job, but I don't think that their responsibility is to heal the world. I think that they have a job, a lane, and I think that each of us have a lane. And let's find out what our lane is and make certain that we're building constructively and not destructively. So love you all, praying for you. I didn't really get a chance to see, I'm sure it's lit in the comments there, but it's all good, man. Everybody's got a right to their opinion. I want to see America do well. I want to see the nations do well. I want to see South Africa do well. I want to see London do well. And I believe that we are a shining light that unfortunately didn't shine so bright the other day. But that's all right. Today's the 8th. It's a number of new beginnings. Let it start with you. All right, I'm out. Let me see if I'm going to go up in here and see what's happening real quick. Hold on. Hey, my screen is dark. Maybe I'm not supposed to see these comments. Hey, I love you. I'm out. You guys have a great Friday, okay? Shalom.